Right, let's start with a big breaking news that we're tracking at this hour. News coming in from Sindh right now, where several people are feared dead. A reporter telling us about 30 people have been killed, about 100 injured. This comes as the 7th terror attack in 5 days in Pakistan. More details are awaited. The exact place of the blast is said to be Sehwan, which is about 130 kilometers away from a place called Jamshoro and very close to Pakistan's Hyderabad as well. Now, this blast has taken place inside a Sufi shrine in Sindh's Sehwan town. Let's go across live to my colleague and Pakistan's Bureau Chief Taha Siddiqui. Taha, what more are we hearing at this point?
Well, from what we know, the police is certain that this was a suicide bombing and it happened inside the veranda of the Sufi shrine, which is called the Lal Shahbaz Qalandar Shrine in Sehwan, city of Sehwan in Sindh. From what we know, that the suicide bomber, he blew himself up right inside the main entrance where people were getting in and out of the shrine itself. And because of which, right now, the death toll that we have is of 30 people being killed. Many of them are women and children because of the fact that a lot of women and children and families usually flock these shrines. We have over 100 injured figures from the hospital, local hospital sources. And many of them are in critical condition. The area was quite crowded when the blast happened. And because of which a lot of people are in critical condition and the casualty figures may go up.
Right. Taha, also any information on the timing of this attack, because is Thursday a day usually when it's overcrowded, this shrine?
Well, definitely this is usually around the sunset time is when most of the people frequent shrines in Pakistan, and this particular shrine, Lal Shahbaz Qalandar Shrine, is one of the most famous shrines in Pakistan. A lot of people flock it. There are hundreds of people at any given point in time in the evenings, especially during this season when the weather is better, and because of which there were a lot of people who were there. And again, I mean, we've seen that this is the 7th attack in the last 5 days that has been carried out in Pakistan, 7th terror attack. And we do know that the Taliban, as of yet, they haven't claimed responsibility for it, but we do know that they announced the launching of Operation Ghazi, in which they said that there will be strings of attack, a fresh wave of attacks in Pakistan, and this could be connected to that too.
All right, Taha, having said that, what's the security status across Pakistan in view of this threat that has been issued by the Taliban? There have been a lot of intelligence reports as well, warning of such attacks as well. What's the security situation in, at these major sites in Pakistan? Is that being increased?
Well, there is a security alert and threat because of the intelligence threat reports as you were mentioning. Also, the police are on high alert in all major cities. We do know that there are terror threat alerts in Islamabad, in Lahore, in Karachi. But again, Sehwan is a small town. But shrines in the past have been attacked. We've seen just a few months ago there was a big attack on a shrine in Hab in Balochistan province, which saw over 50 dead. So in that sense, shrines are a sensitive spot, given the fact that there's a lot of people flock it, and there's a lot of there's usually a crowd there, and so because of which security is usually high alert on these on such places. But again, when we talk to security experts here, and when we talk to the security establishment here, they usually say that it's very hard to stop a suicide bomber once the suicide bomber is on his way and wants to carry out an attack. And this was a suicide bombing attack. Now the problem, where the problem lies, is which a lot of people are criticizing, or a lot of people are questioning, is the security failure in preventive intelligence. Because of these terror threat alerts, there should be preventive intelligence, how to prevent them, how to break the nexus of these networks, and because obviously they have local facilitators, and that is where the security seems to be failing at.
Absolutely. Also, let's just tell our viewers, these are visuals that we're getting from Pakistani networks at this point. Horrible scenes coming to us from the blast site, from that shrine itself in Sehwan, in Pakistan, Sindh. We do know at least 30 people have been killed, about 100 others injured in a suicide bombing. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack so far. Taha, if you can also give us some inputs, if you have, about what's, what is happening at the site at the moment. What are the hospitals nearby? Are the injured being taken immediately? The status of, the security at the site after the news of the blast broke?
Well, from what we know, the ISPR, the military media wing, has said that they're now cordoning off the area and they are carrying out the rescue services. Sehwan Sharif, the city, is a bit remote from mainland Pakistan, so because of which the hospital that there is not a big hospital, not one with all the facilities, with the state-of-art facilities. So because of which the nearest state-of-art facility hospital is in Hyderabad city, which is around about 100 to 150 kilometers from Sehwan Sharif. And so the ISPR, the military media wing, has said that the military men that are over there carrying out rescue services, they are taking the critical, those who are injured critically to the hospital in Hyderabad city, because the hospital in Sehwan itself is a small hospital and it cannot take the load, given the fact that there are more than 100 injured and many of them are critical. So because of which the military is involved, the local rescue services are involved, and definitely this is a developing situation, so we'll know more as we go along.
Absolutely. Taha, just stay online with me. I'm also, getting reports. In fact, Lieutenant General Talat Masood joins me from Pakistan. We'll try and talk to him about what he knows. Lieutenant General Masood, what will you say to this horrible blast that has taken place in Pakistan, in fact in Sehwan, at this place right now? We're hearing 30 people are killed. This also, let's tell you, is the 7th attack in the last 5 days.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We are extremely worried and concerned, and it's so tragic that there has been a sort of wave of attacks, one after the other. Although, just 5 or 6 days back, everyone was saying that, there is so much of calm and peace, and Pakistan probably is getting in a situation where their security situation is under control. But it seems that it is not so, and obviously it is extremely tragic, and the government will have to do a lot more. The security forces, the intelligence, and the border management, all this, I think, requires a lot of rethinking and revisiting our policy. And I think we also have to take into account the sleeper cells and all those vulnerable areas which are being the target of these militants. I think they have been planning this for the last 1 year. They've been waiting, and then with full full blast, they are trying to attack these places and then demoralize the country. But I think it is really time that we take this as an extremely serious challenge, because the internal security of Pakistan should be the topmost priority of not only the security agencies and security forces, but also of the government. And, the Panama leaks and many other things have diverted the attention of the government. I think they need to really focus more on security, because if that is under control, then I think other things can follow.
Absolutely. Agree with you. Lieutenant General Masood, thanks so much for speaking to us here and sharing your thoughts. Security, a big concern for Pakistan at this point, as we've seen a wave of attacks in the past 1 week there, and one more deadlier than the other. Right now, 30 people reportedly killed, about 100 injured. That number may well go up, because the blast has taken place at a shrine which was crowded at the time the suicide bomber struck this place. I'd also like to thank our Pakistan Bureau Chief Taha Siddiqui for joining us for the very latest on this developing story. Now moving